Coach, your thoughts on the overall weekend for you?
It's. I think we had some guys do some good things and competed well, and we had some guys that missed the mark a little bit, and things that we still got to improve on. And that's that's where we're at right now with the team and some of the individuals that we're working with here and trying to make some steps in the right direction here. So great experience for some of these guys. I think some of them learned a lot about themselves, and it gave us a lot to take back and make some just some adjustments with the individuals.
I didn't look at the numbers, but who all did you get qualified?
I actually haven't even sat back and looked. We've just been drilling today, right? Going through it, man, banging. So, we'll be able to go back and take a peek at it and see what where we're at. But I think we got a handful of guys guaranteed. We got a couple guys that are going to be on the bubble. So we got to kind of wait and see how the chips fall and where we stack up.
Are there some guys you're particularly, or maybe one guy you're particularly proud of for the way he competed because maybe he improved or took the next step?
We had a number of guys, do some good things here, and just kind of a team performance. I think Antonio Lorenzo at 125 was a guy that found himself in a lot of challenging matches and found a lot of victories in some tight spaces. So really proud of his efforts, and I think if he's feeling good, he could really shake some things around here come NCAA tournament time.
It seemed like across the board in Constellations, y'all made some real good progress to get back, and obviously didn't all of them go the way you wanted there at the end, but I feel like that was an important stretch of this tournament for you. So.
And it's one of the toughest, right? You get to the end of a long couple of days and a lot of matches and preparation, and we had some guys that were able to endure the event, and we had a couple of guys that were not. And going to be a good learning lesson. How do we adjust both physically and mentally in our preparation and move forward? That'll be the conversations with some of them.
How do you approach, regardless of whatever the number is? Does the next 2 weeks change at all for you because there's less of the team element involved, or is it still the same stuff?
We'll the day-to-day operations will look very similar, but we'll have certainly a lot of emphasis on the individuals that are going to be competing here, and make some adjustments in our training aspects and make sure they're prepared as best they can be for tournament time.
Coach, the makeup of your lineup this year, I think it's kind of hard to ignore that NIL transfer portal may have impacted what you have this season versus what you might have thought you were going to have going into this season.
Yeah.
Do you guys expect? How would you tackle maybe and try to prevent some of those things from happening, I guess, as you go forward?
Yeah, the NIL space it's certainly a continuing evolving landscape in college athletics, and over the last year or two, it's really hit wrestling pretty hard, and that's just the new world that we're in here in college athletics. So something that we're going to continue to look at and navigate, and retention is going to be important, and making sure that we bring guys to Oklahoma that certainly fit what our needs are, what our culture is all about, and how we continue to help push this program forward.
With the potential for revenue sharing potentially coming up, does that help wrestling? Does it hurt wrestling? Just as a sport overall, how do you feel about where wrestling is heading into potentially a new era?
Yeah, I think there's some programs that are going to be situated in comfortable spots, and there's going to be some programs that are going to really hurt from this new dynamic. So I think that's going to be a continuing changing evolution of wrestling and our sport, and how we're going to be able to navigate it. But it certainly poses a new challenge for all college coaches, and I think that's something that we're going to continue to look through and work on.
Is it something that comes up? I'm sure you talk to other coaches at events like this throughout the year. Is that something that comes up a lot when y'all talk, or is that something that everybody's kind of waiting to see what happens, and then maybe there'll be a lot of conversation?
I think the coaches communicate well when it comes to that space, and trying to navigate where we're all at, and how how we compare and stack up to others, and what that looks like, and there's certainly no doubt that success is really based on that in a big way, And so I think that's, where we all got to do a better job at just communicating and figuring out how to continue to make sure that, we don't allow anyone to, run away with this thing year in and year out. We certainly want to continue to have just a competitive space for the sport of wrestling, and I think the coaches have done a good job trying to work through that and navigate that and do what we can.
Schwartz at 141, he did qualify. He's the one that did get an automatic bid, and I think we've seen some wrestlers kind of fall off the fifth year and the red shirts and the
Sure.
COVID year and all that stuff. But he's one that's been around for a while and keeps coming back and getting to the tournament and everything. What would you say to his staying power, or whatever it is that kind of kept him going for this long and getting another bid here?
Well, Moshe, he's got a unique style of wrestling, and he can really give guys fits in a lot of ways with just his style. And other guys, he kind of falls victim to his own style of wrestling. And so trying to help, him grow and adjust in match when he's doing something well or when his style of wrestling is working and being wise enough to make the in-match adjustments is something that he's continuing to work through rather than getting beat in a position and then going right back to the position just to maybe prove to himself that he can work through that. And so, he's a student of the sport. He really enjoys the day-to-day operations and getting in there and adjusting and playing around and just learning and continuing that. So, he's been great here this year, and I think he's been about as healthy as he's ever been here as he's ever been in postseason. So, I think again, just another guy that could position himself very well here at the tournament, and he falls into the right spot and wrestles with confidence. He's certainly a threat to anybody.